The No Thing Show is not a news source. We do not subscribe to any political party, and the views and opinions on this show should not be taken literally. It is up to the listener to use their best judgment and cannot hold the No Thing Show or any of its associates accountable for the topics discussed. Enjoy the show.
If you want to know a thing or two, but you don't know where to go, and everything you listen to got you feeling low, it's time for you to listen to the No Thing Show.
Coming to you from the divided states of America, it's the No Thing Show!
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the No Thing Show. I'm your host, LB, and with me, we have the host, the co-host, the bearded one, the historian, Bearded Bob. What's up, buddy?
Present.
And we have a full house, and it's a good one, too. You guys are going to love this one. We got two guests. We have one, John Brown. What's it? Narragansett?
Narragansett.
So then we also have our guest, William Braden. He's from Akron. He owns a construction company. He knows a lot of stuff outside of construction. Had some good conversations with these guys. So, well, let's just start off. Let's start with you, John. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Jay Breezy here.
Jay Breezy?
Jay Breezy in the house. So Narragansett, it's a tribe, just like the beer. You know, if anyone's ever heard of Narragansett beer, it comes from Narragansett, Rhode Island. But the Narragansett people, we were the ruling people in the East Coast. So you think of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island area. That's kind of where I'm from.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then we also have William. What's up, brother?
Hello.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, born and raised in Ohio here in Akron, and done some work and travels up and down the East Coast, all through Louisiana. Been just about everywhere in that direction. Hope to head west in my later years here. And I'm just happy to be on the show and take a ride with the No Thing Show.
Yeah,
right?
the No Thing Show.
No
So,
Thing Show.
so you've been all over the place. You probably are. You probably seen a lot of shit in your days, huh?
Well, I'm pushing 50 years old, so good God, I've seen everything.
So let's get into what happened the last episode. We ended on an abrupt note, and we were talking about cloning, and this rich guy was cloning himself as an embryo or something. He was doing DNA stuff, and he had like a neurological disease that he was trying to cure or be able to transplant organs later on in life. We went over it, and now he's backing away. So there's some ethical concerns, and I'm not sure exactly where he was going with it. It seemed kind of crazy, but there's different types of cloning. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. There's artificial cloning that it falls into these three distinct categories. There's gene cloning. I think John was hitting on the gene thing when we were in here earlier.
Yeah.
Then there's therapeutic cloning that involves cloning human embryos to harvest the embryonic stem cells. I think you were talking about stem cells too.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, what was like? Did he have his own like laboratory? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. I don't know if he was a mad scientist or I'm sure he's a billionaire. So what do you think a billionaire is doing? He's just hiring a bunch of guys, probably bought a building. I don't know.
Right, like the movie Transcendence, like he just had this huge, like, without the AI, just,
Yeah, I'm
laboratory
not
for stem cell research or something.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one, but
what he's doing is probably building a business doing this or trying to, and now he's maybe not going to, but I don't know. Organ cloning, making organs for the purpose of people that need new organs, like organ harvesting, that's probably not a bad thing, but cloning humans is terrible, man.
Well, first off, he's a freaking billionaire. I mean, what do you do if you're a billionaire?
Whatever you want. Was it like just random people or just himself? Like just
it was himself. But then I think I asked the question on the last episode. I'm like, all right, so genetically he's predisposed to some kind of neurological problem. Why the hell would you clone yourself and use the same genes and everything? You're probably still going to be genetically predisposed to the damn thing.
You can remove those genes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a billionaire. I forgot.
Well, yeah, like the RNA, right? Get into the RNA and just get those specific genes and just snip them out.
GMO organs.
Well, the therapeutic cloning, that was involving the embryos to harvest the embryonic stem cells. Then there's reproductive cloning. This aims to create a cloned fetus and bring it to live birth. No, I think this is the route he was going. I'm not sure, but I mean, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, that's bad.
That-
Diabolical.
So he would create a fetus essentially, and then take the organs out of it.
Right. Imagine like
Nice.
imagine raising your own kid that's yourself. That would suck. Because I didn't like myself when I was a kid. I was an asshole.
Right.
So-
I mean, yeah, just something that looks like you when you're a kid. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get your organs, boy.
That'd be messed
Take
up.
That's
that.
so crazy, man. That's
Like, what if you fell in love? This is your kid. You care about him. You love him. You're like, but I'm harvesting your organs, buddy. That would be that would be so.
I don't know.
messed-
He's a billionaire. He might not have like any feelings. You know,
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I think
might
when you
just be emotionally vacant.
yeah when you become a billionaire, I mean, what did you do to become a billionaire? Did you just get lucky? I mean, to me, I feel like
That luck is absolutely a degree of it for sure. It's definitely a big factor in becoming a billionaire, no matter what your other moves are. Luck is definitely a factor.
so.
Or
Do you
just
guys?
knowing a stockbroker, right? Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. Do you guys remember Dolly the sheep?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Yes. What do you remember that?
They yeah, this is probably before your time, John. I don't know.
Oh.
1996.
Oh yeah, I would have been 4 years old then.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were trying to create a clone fetus and bring it to live birth, but they had all kinds of problems, and you know the sheep came out retarded with other hooves or something. I don't know, man.
Huh.
So
It was a complete cloned animal. And that's the first time that was ever successful, according to the media, you know.
well,
That's-
we always say on the show, we're
It was
like
a big deal.
we always say everything that they're telling us in the media and shit. And, you know, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with DARPA and all their
Yeah.
advanced research and all that. They show you some shit and you're like, wow, that's so advanced. Well, they're probably like 30, 40, 50 years ahead of that. And they're not telling
course.
us.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's like most things.
Any
like a lot of the-
weaponized technology is going to be that way. They're not going to disclose anything to
Oh,
us.
for sure. Yeah. Mostly from the government. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would never clone myself because that would just be, I don't want to bring another one of me into the world. That'd be so messed up.
Yeah. I'm kind of superstitious. I feel like karmically that would not
Oh, yeah.
be good. Like, yeah, definitely.
That was
don't
the
want
big
that.
argument back in like the W. Bush days about stem cell research. The government was trying to completely stop it because of ethical issues. But the reality is some stem cell stuff and growing organs, you're not growing an actual full body sentient conscious organism. If you're just using stem cells to heal somebody, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's real medical progress. But making a bunch of cloned babies and shit, what could go right with
Well,
that?
yeah. I mean, and the thing is like, is the anatomy of like the clone just like anatomically functional to the point where you're just harvesting the organs, or do you have like actual gray matter? Like, are you getting
Right.
brain matter with that, where you now have a conscious living entity that's a human, essentially?
Yeah,
you know, and
basically.
at that point, now you're like, what are we doing here?
Right. Yeah. If it's just like basically lab meat, that's okay.
Yeah, that's. I would think. Yeah, that's a little better.
I mean, we're not eating it, you know.
Right.
I
You're
guess
gonna
you could. but-
You're now going to be cannibals eating clones.
I mean-
Soylent Green.
Right.
Oh,
Green is
no.
Already
fatal.
cannibals, buddy.
Right.
I don't know. I guess there could be some positive things too. Like you could grow one and genetically alter it to where it has a bigger penis that you can transplant later on in life.
I guess.
That's a good one. That's a good
I mean,
one.
what are some other
You could-
positive
You
things?
could just clone a penis and then
Yeah, I
you
got
know
a
what'll-
huge hog now. Yeah.
Yeah, there will be a federation of feminists that just have a penis cloning laboratory and they sell them for $1,000 a piece.
Oh no.
Oh,
And-
for sure.
And then they all just get rid of all the men. That's
Nice.
what'll happen.
Just like a living AI robotic
sex
yeah.
doll
hog. Yeah.
or hog, strap on robotic
Yeah, there you go.
dog.
It's
hog.
alive. Selling to you for $19.95.
Oh man, cloning. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I wonder what the ruling elites do. I mean, we know they kidnap kids and do a bunch of stuff. Apparently,
Oh, they
so.
definitely do.
Yeah.
You know, dress up as pheasants and have an orgy or whatever they do.
There's nothing they don't do.
So how do you like? They must not be that advanced because they can't just clone the things they need. I guess they gotta like kidnap people. So
Well, it is new technology as far as we know. Why would they? I mean, I guess if they were ethical in the first place, they could go through the expense of cloning and, using laboratories that are expensive and cloning for adrenochrome or whatever it is they do with baby's blood, but it's a lot easier to just steal them from peasants. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it adds an extra satanic dose to it too, right? It gives it more energy, more of that evil energy thereafter.
Well, isn't that like the whole thing with like missing people? They talk about like the missing people thing, and they just don't know where they go to. Like people go into the state parks, and they just completely disappear, and they have no idea where they are at all. And they just find their shoes like perfectly stacked, all this stuff perfectly stacked in one particular location, and missing 411 stuff. I believe that's where they're going. You know,
do you think the elites? Do you think the elites are doing that?
I would think so. I would. I mean, I can't say for sure. This is just for entertainment purposes only.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to find.
I don't want to be the next person that ends up, but like I would think that, I mean, to some degree, I would have to believe that there's some reality to that. Anything's possible.
We talked about a few episodes ago, alien abductions and the government itself, like staging it and acting like, reverse engineering spacecrafts and dressing up like aliens and abducting people, making people think it was some like alien experience when really it was the government.
That could be possible too, right? There's, the whole thing, disinformation, get people to freak out. And they sit there and they talk about Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yep.
Yeah, Project Bluebeam and stuff like that. They're going to stage like a holographic alien invasion. That way they can get the one world government.
Right.
Where, that's the thing that they were talking about. I mean, they do have holograms, right?
Yeah, the common enemy bringing everybody together on, their some bullshit agenda so
they
that
had
they
Tupac.
can achieve it.
Remember the Tupac thing? They had a hologram of him dancing on stage after he died.
That was some years back, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Imagine where they are now with technology. I mean,
we're just saying, Dulce, New Mexico base, right? They probably got some crazy stuff down in there.
Well, speaking of technology, let's see here what you guys think about this one. So there's literally Section 24220 of the 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act bill that's coming into play. I think it's passed. This was something you guys may have heard of. Cameras in all new passenger vehicles. The vehicles are going to have kill switches. It's mandatory for the auto manufacturer to put all these in there. And they're saying that it's for your safety from drunk drivers. And so you could be driving down the road. Your eyes are moving around. You're watching this, you're watching that, whatever. And AI is going to be analyzing it. And it's going to depict the situation that you might be drunk when you're not. And it's going to shut your car off. Or you're going to get in the car in the morning. You just brushed your teeth and you had some Listerine and all that and your little push button thing on your car or whatever. I don't know if do you have one in your truck there, Will?
No.
Yeah, I got one on my GMC. It kind of pissed me off. But the little push button thing, you put your thumb on it. It's going to read, see if you have any alcohol in your system. You can't start your car.
I purposely bought an older vehicle to get away from that.
Yeah, I will never get a car newer than the one I have.
Well, what happens later on? They say, I forget what date this is what year it's supposed to start, but it is. I think
it's like 2027, if I remember correctly.
It's not that far away.
I know Ford did file a bunch of patents on that technology.
That's awful. I hate Ford anyway.
That's terribly dystopian. I mean, they talk about for drunk driving. I guess the local judge isn't going to be able to drive himself around anymore.
Oh, no, it's just like, you're stressed out one day, right? Like one of your dogs die or a cat or anything or a family member, or you're just stressed out and you get in your car and you're just like, oh man, I just, need to sit in my car for a second. And then you try to go to work and you can't go to work.
Yeah.
Or your dog is about to die and you're trying to get him to the vet and your car won't start.
It's like you are in distress.
Mm-hmm. Or you roll up on a flock camera and you jump out of your car and you flick off the camera and it shuts your car off and you're stuck there and the police
show up.
They
probably would. Just out of sheer spite. Yeah.
In fact, speaking of flicking off flock cameras, I like to ride my e-bike here because it's not that far from my house. And I was going through this school and there's 2 flock cameras there. I couldn't stop myself. I had to get off my bike and I had to look at it and say, "Fuck you."
Take it and I flip it off. Nice, yeah. Me and Will are gonna do that when we get out of here. We're just gonna track down every flock camera.
There's like 160 or something now.
Yeah, they're all over. We're gonna go to all 160 and flip them off.
Yeah, that is just, I don't know.
Well, it's good you're talking about that though, because a lot of these cities now are questioning their subscription to Flock.
Yeah, I've been seeing
some of them have denied the renewal of it because they have not only public pushback, but they also have a high rate of inaccuracy.
Yeah. 20 million scans they brag about. Well,
that's Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's 1.4 million mistaken scans. That's too many.
Well, Los Angeles alone had 30-something% of their stolen vehicles were incorrect identifications.
Yeah, that's
so they decided to can the whole system, and that's a big city to lose. So
yeah,
hopefully, as more and more people become aware of what they're under with those flock cameras, they push back against their city's funding to be on that system.
I mean, I suppose like the only positive benefit, me and Bill were talking about this the other day, would be, I guess crime rates. And I'm talking like because it's 2026 and you have a bunch of people who are just like losing their minds, random people that just like walk up into the house and decide to like murder somebody.
It's
They don't
been
even
like
know, but I guess it's already, yeah, you're right. It's already been like that. But
humans have been humans forever.
other than that, but I mean, it's just, when you really look at it, it's kind of problematic.
Just because there's criminals, I don't lose my rights.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the whole thing, the right to privacy. I mean, it's getting to be like definitely some all-seeing eye type stuff going on here.
Well, you have to understand that, people say things like just because, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about. Well, doing something wrong is completely arbitrary a lot of times, and it changes with whoever's in power.
Right.
This can be used for incredible levels of tyranny if they want to use it that way. And there's nothing we'll be able to do about it because by the time it's all installed, there will be no escaping from it. It'll just be a brave new world. It'll be a nightmare.
What do you mean by the time it's all installed? It's here.
I know, but it'll get worse. We're talking about like robot dogs policing the streets. I guess we'll get to that later.
I got that article.
It'd be like Elysium, right? With Matt Damon. Yeah.
That's awful. That is not good.
And I see, on Facebook, I'll see some lady. It's usually the women too that love these flock cameras for some reason. And she's like, I don't care if something tracks me going to shop at Walmart. We need to get these criminals off the streets. And I'm like, yeah, well, you don't care until you start getting arbitrary fines in the mail from things that it caught you doing.
Right.
Like not wearing your seatbelt or going 3 miles an hour over the speed limit, and they can hose $1,000 out of you for that. They're going to do it.
Wasn't there just a case, something like that? I saw something about that in Florida. And there was one of these flock cameras had like tracked this guy down and said that he made some type of traffic error, and they fined him.
Yeah.
And there was no real person that he could actually go to kind of.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. He had to actually go to this private corporation because they're the ones with the data, and the police didn't have it.
Right.
So why the hell, I don't trust the cops, so to speak, but also I definitely don't trust a private for-profit corporation
that's like
that's holding on to my data,
right?
And they can access it too. It's not just law enforcement. There was a guy that got caught peeking into a girls' gymnastics class with a flock camera, a guy that worked at Flock, and that was the only search he did that entire time.
There was a flock camera on the class?
Yeah, and that's what he searched. That was his only search that he made. So, I mean, this stuff does get misused. It always will. Anytime a technology gets weaponized, it also gets misused. And people talk about it's a very small percentage of people doing that have access to it. I would say it's a huge percentage of people doing it that have access to it because it almost always is, man.
Well,
people
there's
in
a lot
power
of police,
use the power.
Right, there's a lot of police, right, that are doing that to like track. That's like one of the main things right now. There's a lot of police and people in authority positions who are like tracking their ex-spouses and stuff like that, girlfriends, whatever.
That's not what I'm worried about. I mean, that sucks, and I get it. I don't know what the percentage of this misuse is, but the real misuse that I see is the deep state misuse.
Yeah,
classifying us all as either a terrorist or somebody who just doesn't agree with them. We have different political views, and they can put us all in a file. They can have us all rated by whatever, and they can bring in their social credit score and turn our money off. And like this, like we're talking about here with the
wait a minute,
the shut off for your car.
Oh, I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah,
you bring in all that with it. What you're doing is you're forcing everybody into cubicles and corrals as needed. We're basically cattle. If we weren't already, we are now.
Well, here's some of the key provisions on this bill. I'll just rip through it real quick. There's a mandatory safety standard. So the law mandates that the Secretary of Transportation and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, they're to issue a federal motor vehicle safety standard requiring drunk and impaired driving prevention technology as standard equipment on all new passenger vehicles. Then there's this passive technology that's going to be required. Unlike traditional ignition interlocks, the technology must be passive. Drivers will not be required to blow into a tube or take active steps to start the car. this is something that they're going to hide in there, make it look like it's okay, but really that's not the truth.
How big of a problem is drunk driving anyway? This is
it's
complete bullshit.
It's not small potatoes.
It doesn't justify the means at all, man. It's not even
Well, here,
what
let
it's
me-
about.
I mean, there is like a few, like I don't know, like 100,000 drunk driving cases a year just in Ohio alone. I don't know about any
That's out
other
of,
state.
like tens of millions of
people,
drivers.
though. Yeah, that's
so
it's a
let me
small fraction.
let me finish this off real quick. So the system, it must be capable of doing at least one of the following. Has the passive performance monitoring, continuously monitoring the driver's performance. That's eye movement, facial tracking, lane drift, steering patterns, and then it's using the cameras in the vehicle's metrics to identify this impairment. And then the passive alcohol detection, detecting blood alcohol levels, directing through non-invasive sensors such as a touch-based tissue sensor on the push start button, which I was talking about, or on the steering wheel, or an ambient breath sensor inside the cabin. Oh my God.
Wait, so the steering wheel would be able to detect alcohol?
The steering wheel, the cabin, and your push button.
What if your steering wheel's dirty?
What if you have a drunk guy in the car with you, but
Yeah.
Then it would probably shut it off. Imagine the prototype stages, right?
Yeah.
Or what if you just use mouthwash? I
Yeah,
like
that's
to
what
use Listerine a lot, so they'd probably look like, detect alcohol.
I'll
You're
be
not
on
going
my
anywhere.
horse.
Right, yeah, there you go.
bunch of bullshit.
Going with the Amish.
God.
So what you got to do is take a few puffs off a joint before you drive anywhere, so you're completely docile and chill when you get in your car.
Well, then it's going to probably detect that you're too docile.
Yeah.
It's
going to be 95% false readings on this entire technology.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nightmare. People are going to boycott new cars, and it's going to be a mess.
Well, all that data gets fed into a data center, which everybody's trying to fight, which isn't working. I got some other stuff about another data center. I mean, they're secretly making these data centers without the public even being able to vote on it now in some places.
Yeah.
So, in fact, let's just get into data centers while we're at it. So
It's going to be like Minority Report one day.
it's going to be awful. Like it's gonna be 1984 George Orwell.
It already is.
Worse.
It's getting there.
So data centers, there are roughly, here's some numbers, I don't know if you guys know, but there's 4,500 to 5,400 active data centers in the United States, depending on how different tracking databases are defined and count, smaller edge enterprise and location facilities. So by virtually all industry measures, the U.S. holds the largest concentration of data infrastructure in the world. Apparently, it's about 45 to 48% of all operational facilities globally. So the land of the free holds the most data centers globally.
Yeah. Surveillance centers. Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was China. I thought China was king of the crop.
China
It probably was.
Yeah.
It probably is, but China doesn't tell us the truth.
Sure.
They're not going to report all that.
U.S. was like, we ain't having that happen, boy.
Yeah.
So some of the key data center hubs in the U.S., while facilities exist in every state, the concentrations heavily favor regions with strong fiber optic connectivity, cheaper energy costs, and business tax incentives. So Virginia, Northern Virginia, Loudoun County, known as the Data Center Alley. Virginia leads the country with over 650 plus facilities. An estimated 70% of the world's internet traffic flows through that region. Texas has 400 to 500 facilities. California has 300 to 320. Illinois and Ohio over 200. And they're serving as the key Midwestern transportation and low latency network hubs. That's awesome. So, I mean, this is a lot of data centers.
That is like, and so like, what is it like really? Is it just everyone's personal information? Because that's what I would have to think that it is really. It's like they're just creating a dossier, like a electronic dossier on like everyone's searches, what they do, what they eat,
These are our personnel files.
how they age. I would
Mhm.
imagine that
What you're shopping for.
right?
What you're asking AI, the questions, the video. Obviously, it'll be the video in your car, the video on your phone, the video from the flock cameras. Did you fart too loud? You might have, pretty soon you're going to sit there and you're going to take a drink of something and they're going to be like, oh, you have some gastroesophageal reflux disease happening. I'm like, what, dude? I didn't even...
Gastroesophageal reflux. Nice. There you go.
And then a pill will just come out of the wall and be like, take this.
They'll sell it to you.
Oh, yeah, it'll go on your credit and you'll just automatic.
They'll mandate that you go buy it or it'll shut your car off.
They'll shut your car off. They'll take
Right.
your money. Oh my gosh.
Oh, he bought some Pepto-Bismol. He's not driving anywhere today.
I don't think people realize how bad this is. This is very bad. This is like,
It's like the Bill of Rights doesn't even exist.
yeah, they don't even care. Bills just fly through Congress. They don't care. Everything just keeps going. We're electing people. You know, in Ohio, they have this Amy Acton and Vivek Ramaswamy. And I used to be for Vivek Ramaswamy. He actually ran for president. Didn't do too well, but you know, I've listened to a lot of his speeches. He was a constitutionalist. He sounds like Thomas Jefferson to me, you know. Now all of a sudden he's all for the data centers. He's like, but we have to regulate them and, you know, this, that, and the other. Shut up.
He has to play ball too, toe the party line, man. There's so much pressure, even in that, you know, in that level of power. They have to play along or they get ostracized too, you know?
Well, it's almost just like we were talking about this, Bill, right? Like the knowledge is power thing, right? You have more knowledge on.
Well, I might be a little controversial on this, but I think data centers are a necessity to some extent. I think that everything we do is going to be, well, look at the use of AI, right? You can use it in what you do here. You can use it. People make TikTok videos. People do. Every time you search for something, you know, all that stuff has to be computed somewhere. So you do have a need for that. I also think our enemies, such as China, are also doing the same thing. And the last thing we want is another country to be out computing us on what we're doing. I think we get rid of the flock cameras. That brings it now in the surveillance part of it. Then, yeah, you can track where I am and what I shop for and yada, yada, yada.
All right.
And all the stuff we do every day. That doesn't necessarily affect me as much in my coercion with, you know, how that works with me in the world. I'd almost rather it be more convenient for me to go to the store and get what I need and not have to deal with, well, you know, go into a Walmart and ask yourself, you know, you really feel like you're at the top of the food chain when you shop at Walmart.
Right.
So data centers, I think we need maybe not as many. I'd have to look into it more to see how much do we really need. The young generation, definitely using it, right? They're going to,
I'm using it.
They're the
I
ones
use it all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
they're also the ones that are pushing for these automatic. Young kids can't wait for the day that they don't have to drive a car. They want to sit there and talk to their
I know,
friends
they're
like
getting
we are
more
at
and
this
more
table,
lazy.
and this car is taking us where we want to go.
They want to be Wally.
Yeah, they don't want to drive.
That's true.
I think.
Wally, yeah.
I think in 50 years you're gonna have to go to a racetrack to drive a gasoline engine,
Oh, you're probably right about that.
and maybe in 20 years you probably won't be able to drive a combustion engine unless you go to a racetrack or somewhere like we do golf.
Yeah, like an automobile
like you
museum.
do NASCAR now. You'll
Yeah.
have to go somewhere to do that. Does that bother me? I don't know. In my trade, I look at it like, you know what? If I could get work done while I was driving to work, it might not be a bad thing. Also, then I got to deal with road rage. I got to deal with a guy cutting me off. I don't have to deal with a guy tailgating me. You know why? Because his car is going to keep him over there, away from me.
Well,
right?
the
I mean, think
technology-
of how much stress you go through every day in your life driving your car.
that technology is
Bob goes through a lot of stress.
definitely not perfect, though. Like
It's
right
definitely
now,
not perfect,
Mhm.
but it could have some
I mean,
definite pluses on it.
yeah, it's got to start somewhere, right?
So-
But people's Teslas are still starting automatically and pulling out into the middle of parking lots and stuff with
Well,
nobody in them.
Car thieves are going to find a way to take
Yeah.
that stuff. That's where I think you need AI and computing, though, right? Because you have to be able to combat all the bad things that can be in it. And like you say, nothing's perfect.
Well, on the other
we're
side,
gonna
we got
get-
the halfway point coming. On the other side,
Yes,
I got a
sir.
few things to kind of come at that with. But
He's
we're
like,
we're gonna have Congressman Keith Self. He's a Republican out of Texas. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He seems like he's for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, but they always put on that little persona of I'm a freedom fighter, you know, and then they totally vote on some other shit and screw us all over. So I mean, he's going to get into the surveillance state. He's going to talk about, you know, the problems with, I think, the AI data centers and all that. Because in the end, you know, yeah, we want to use it to help us, like you were saying, but we have controllers at the top that they're using it to help them. And it's going to push us in the little cubicles like Bob was talking about to where we're just some stupid little slaves. They don't need much of us anyway. They start getting all these robots in. They, you know, there's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to be gone. And we're not going to be able to survive.
Entire sectors are going to be gone.
Well, yeah, I mean, my thinking on it is like if the AI is like specifically directed to be used for educational and medical purposes, that's one thing. But if it goes like the other way, that's not good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right. So, No Think Show. We'll catch you on the other side.
Right, that.
America's founding generation did not take up arms merely over taxes. They rebelled against a tyrannical government that planted spies in their taverns, searched their homes, and read their private letters. Benjamin Franklin understood this threat deeply. He popularized the rattlesnake as a symbol of America, first with his Join or Die cartoon, and later by praising the defiant motto, "Don't tread on me." He also delivered a timeless warning. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. This year, 2026, marks the 250th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting time to reaffirm the principles of liberty than by dismantling the surveillance state that has quietly eroded them. That starts with the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, which has become the modern incarnation of the general warrants that ignited the revolution. Created originally to track foreign enemies on foreign soil, Section 702 has morphed into a sprawling domestic surveillance machine that sweeps up Americans' communications and treats the Fourth Amendment like a suggestion. On June 12th, Congress faces another deadline to renew Section 702. The intelligence community wants a clean reauthorization, but we are not going to accept that. Congress should not accept that, and no American, if they were actually told the truth for once about what their own government is doing to them, would accept that. This is not opposition to national security. It is a refusal to sacrifice essential liberty for temporary safety.
All right, we're back. So we have Congressman Keith Self. I mean, that sounded great to me.
Yeah.
I mean, as always, it sounds great. Yeah, Dr. Paul, Mr. Ron Paul was my guy back in the day. But I mean, all right, Keith Self, I'll give you my hat's off to you. I hope that you can do something about this. But he's talking about Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this thing, but it permits spy agencies like the NSA, CIA, FBI to conduct warrantless surveillance on
and the Mossad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now in the Mossad.
Because we are a vassal to Israel now. Don't forget that.
Right. Oh, yeah. So,
Weren't they doing that, already, though? With,
now it's
Edward
official.
Snowden. Like, he was like, hey, these guys are tracking everybody.
Oh, yeah.
that's what it goes. So when Will was talking earlier, sure, I want all these great things to happen. I don't want that asshole tailgating me because I'm going to brake check his ass and then it's going to start road rage and all that. So we don't want that happening. And I get it. And I don't like it. Pisses me off. Pisses Bob off. Probably pisses everybody off when this shit happens. But we have people that are psychopaths that have control of these things, maybe Bill Gates or, whoever. And a lot of these people, they're doing this surveillance. They're doing it for nefarious reasons. It's not to help us. We think it is. That's how it's sold to us. And we want it to help us, but it's just not.
Well, there's something else that needs to be noticed. It's AI itself. Once AI starts to get smart enough, it will eventually get so smart that the smartest humans on earth, with maybe pushing an IQ of 250, which is incredible. Like most of us can't even conceptualize what goes on in these people's heads, they won't even be able to conceptualize how smart AI is. When AI has an IQ of 3,000, it'll be like a kid playing with ants, dude. Like AI will take everything over.
It'll have its magnifying glass, and I don't like that human.
Well, isn't that like the quantum computers now? Like they're just completely out there when it comes to their computing power. And just the answers that they can give you on equations that people have been working on for like 50 years.
It'll be doing things that look like nonsense to us because we can't even conceptualize what it's giving us. It'll be so smart. Like this is beyond perception, human perception level of intelligence, like multi-dimensional. Like
we just have to use
it beyond magic. To us.
Use the AI to figure out how to unlock the other 90% of our brain capacity. Then we'll be able to combat it.
it might
telekinesis.
just completely wipe us out.
Well, I mean, think about one computer nowadays figures out, let's say it was trying to break a combination. It's going to go through combination 1, combination 2, and it will stay at that task until it breaks that combination.
Yeah.
A supercomputer takes all of those combinations and figures them out exactly at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it just spits out an answer. It doesn't have to go through 1,000 scenarios.
Right.
It just runs all the scenarios at the exact same time and says this is the correct one. That's where I think that is a dangerous thing as much as it is a great thing again, right? And I think that's what's important about podcasts like this is people need to be educated on the bad that can come from these things so they are holding accountable the people who are in charge of this technology.
That's like some Tony Stark.
Even
stuff,
though
man.
it is, it's mankind's spirit to inevitably destroy themselves, and they
like
always
an
want to
omnipotent
have
intelligence capacity.
they
just
always
like,
want, it's mankind's spirit to be in charge, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, there's
Humans
always
destroy
some guy
everything.
that wants to be at the top of the pyramid. He wants to be the one man that says how everybody else has to live the life, and unfortunately, we have to, hopefully break that cycle.
Well, what I do, this is what has helped me out over the years, is, you can hear all this shit online. You can hear these people bitching and moaning the left, the right, and all these problems. But I'll go in and I'll look at the bills. I'll go in, I'll look at like this mass surveillance stuff, the legal frameworks of FISA Section 702, and I'll read through it. A lot of the shit, he gets into the legalese, and you're like, oh my God. But if somebody's going to spend a bunch of time farting around on TikTok and looking at videos or whatever, go in and read these bills. It'll scare the shit out of you. And if you look at it from like a broad spectrum analysis, and you're like, okay, I know that there is controlling elites that have taken control of the globe, so to speak. I know there's competing ones. There's different ones that are like Asian, and there's ones that are American and English and all, and they're all competing over global domination. So when I look at something, I'm like, okay, they are framing it like it's going to help us. Okay, there's going to be less drunk drivers with the whole car thing, or the data centers are going to help me be able to find the answers I need quicker. Or, driverless cars are going to stop, accidents and all. But when I really look at it, it's like they're surveilling us. They're trying to figure out who the enemy is. They are going to put us in our little file folders. We're going to have rankings. I don't know if it'll be colors or whatever. Let's say red is like, these people are too American. We don't want them around. This late stage Generation X, they're getting out of control. And I was just telling Bob the other day, I'm like, I don't know why these guys are blowing it out of proportion like this and going so fast with the surveillance state right now. Because if they just wait.
Well, it's profitable.
If they just wait for guys like us to just get too old to do anything, then they could take full control without any problems, because Gen Z is going to be like, okay,
Gen Z and Gen Alpha for sure. Yeah. Gen Alpha's all about it.
They're going to be like, oh, you want to stick a camera up my butthole? Let's do it.
Like, yeah, I do that anyways. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I do that for fun at my house.
Right. So I think they're jumping the gun a little fast here, because Gen X is not going to put up with this shit. And they already are cutting down the flock cameras. They already are getting pissed off at the data centers. They're already all over the place. If you go on social media, just bitching and moaning and going to council meetings, their local council meetings, because that's how you start. You got to go on a local level and work your way up. And I'm just seeing videos of these people going apeshit.
The other problem with the data centers, these things are absolutely huge. They're like 60 to 100 acres. That's the size of an entire neighborhood.
Like a building?
Yeah. And it uses a lot of electricity and water. That drives up the cost of electricity tremendously.
My reservation is 2,500 to 3,000 acres.
Yeah.
So that's double the size
Oh, my
of
God.
my reservation, dude.
Jeez.
And it's like the entire town of Charlestown.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I
mean, it's logging everything we do everywhere, everything. And the flock thing, we can knock all those down. They're easy to find. They're easy to break. They're just going to move on to Akron, where all this stuff is hidden in other things like streetlights, and we don't even know where they are. We won't even see them, so it'll go away. The surveillance will still be there, but it'll go away because there won't be black flock cameras on poles all over the place that people can see.
Well,
because
places
we're
like,
simple like that.
Like Florida, right? They have like fake palm trees.
Yeah.
And for all intents and purposes, you would think it's a palm tree, but it's a giant surveillance palm tree.
Yep. I remember
and
seeing
it does
those.
like that echolocation that we were talking about, like sends out like the frequencies and like maps how many people are in your car, how many people are in the adjacent building. Like it's scary.
Well, I think we're onto something with the generational thing, because the quicker they implement these things, the quicker the next generation is going to be used to having it.
Yeah, normalizing it.
We are pushing back because we have lived life without those items.
Right.
Imagine growing up and it was just part of life. You would know no different on what is and what is not a negative impact on your life.
It would be warm and fuzzy even.
Well, I mean, think about other countries that live under a strict rule. They
don't know anything different.
Yeah,
Right.
that's all they know. So, I mean, they manage, but that's where we don't want our kids to have that in the future. And there's a better way to live your life. And that's what America was founded on. And I really believe that I'm kind of a spiritual guy. So I believe there's a good and evil struggle between
The yin and yang.
yeah, I mean,
the
all
duality.
that stuff adds up. And I think it's just been going on for centuries, all the way back to, I mean, even the money, trace the money back. I mean, it goes all the way back to, how Britain collected the gold from the Dutch and all that. And it just, the introduction of the Federal Reserve, it's all about controlling the money, which helps you control the population. Unfortunately,
If you control the
Napoleon-
money, you have all the power.
yeah, well,
Right.
Napoleon, Hitler, none of those guys had the technology. They really couldn't control the earth because they didn't have the technology. Now the stage is set where if somebody gets a hold of the controls, they have the technology to watch everybody. And
Dude,
that's a
honestly,
scary thing.
Honestly, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I guess I know why they're doing it because they want global dominance and they think there's too many of us and they're not going to need all of us anymore and they want to live in this utopia that's theirs. I think that's where they're going with it. But I mean, if you were to just leave us alone,
It's a dystopia, by the way.
or dystopia, whatever, if you leave
Yeah.
us alone, we're probably not going to do anything to them. We're not going to eat them. We're not going to eat the rich.
Why don't they just go to Antarctica, right? This is the whole thing. That,
Climate sucks.
Yeah, well, they say that,
Well, and
Antarctica.
I think that's where the spiritual thing comes in. Is
Yeah.
I believe it's a spiritually driven desire to do something that, at the end, what would it prosper you?
Are you talking about the elites?
Yeah,
Well,
the
yeah, there's
elites. I mean,
definitely,
where
like,
does
got
it
a
go? We're
satanic
not out to
component
harm
to
them,
it.
and I don't care if they make money doing it. I'm a capitalist. I believe that people should make money for good ideas, and even if they don't work hard to do it, they just come up with an idea, processes, systems, they implement it.
Yeah,
right?
monetary
Like
success.
Steve Jobs didn't actually. What they say, he didn't actually build the iPod. He just told people, "You go do this idea, make
Yeah.
it happen."
Right.
Well, monetary success comes from value, not necessarily effort or time. And a lot of people, especially, laborers and people on the lower ends of the economic scale, never seem to realize that value is, you have to bring something valuable to capitalize on. It doesn't have really, hard work matters and all that matters, I guess, but value is all that really matters when it comes to monetary success. And billionaires have figured that out. It's
Well,
about
you don't have to.
bringing
You don't have to get rid of all of us.
Well,
No,
that's
yeah,
the
you
other
don't.
thing, right? That's,
Or any other life forms for that matter.
I was just going to bring up the whole population thing. And as this technology gets bigger and bigger and more autonomous, and, you were talking about jobs and entire sectors going away, all those people are still going to exist. Birth rates are low, but people are still going to reproduce. And, the birth rates are low thing is another conversation. But I can see why an elite class would be scrambling to get rid of half the world's population, because we'll basically just be a huge welfare state if they don't.
Well, not only that, but when people are hungry and they're desperate, what do?
It's about 3 days without food.
They turn against their government.
Yeah.
They turn against each other. They
some Book of Eli stuff going on.
Yeah.
They're going to rally together and go get them out of their bunkers.
Yeah.
So let's just create something called COVID, and let's start giving everybody shots, and let's start people dying from myocarditis.
I saw
and-
something about COVID. There was like a Chinese soap opera that had come out like 3 or 4 years before COVID came out. And in that soap opera, there was some scientist or doctor, and he was like, "Yeah, there's this new disease that's come out," and they called it COVID-19 in that soap opera that came out like 4 years.
It's like The Simpsons, man.
yeah, exactly. They just like keep predicting things. Like, yeah, this is gonna happen. There you go. Take that.
Yeah. Well, I get it. Everybody's sick. We have the worst healthcare system on the planet, from what I understand, or it's pretty bad.
Most expensive, you
most
should say.
expensive. But I mean, they're not curing anything. We know. All these years, all these
If you
diseases,
solve
nothing
a
gets
prob-
cured,
I mean,
really.
If you solve the problem, you're out of a job, man.
Magic Johnson had the cure, man. He had the cure way
Yeah, he had
before
the
anyone
money.
else. Yeah. Now they have. Yeah, that was the thing at the time. He had the money.
But he's not going to tell you.
Yeah.
He's not gonna say, "This is what I did," save lives. Why would he do that?
Of course
Well,
not.
I mean, there's a lot of people walking around with AIDS now that aren't dying because it isn't the 1980s anymore.
Right. They got that Argarvy.
Yeah,
or
there's all
whatever it
kinds of
is.
medications.
I think wasn't AIDS weaponized.
I'm sure it was.
I think
Didn't Fauci have something to do with that?
I think they sent something I can't remember. Man, it was a long time ago.
I haven't researched
They
it.
sent like some drugs down to Africa or something that were tainted with it or whatever. Something.
That's what I
can't
remember learning in like second grade, like 1998, 1999. I remember learning that. They were like, yeah, it came from Africa. It came from monkeys or something.
The monkey bit a human.
And yeah, they got AIDS.
Yeah.
Or somebody tried to fornicate with a monkey.
That just doesn't make sense because why wouldn't that have happened, 100,000 years ago? It just shows up in the late 70s out of nowhere. That sounds like a lab created bug to me.
If you look at the virus itself, it's weird. Like, you ever seen viruses under a microscope?
Uh-huh.
Like some of them, they look like almost like nanobots.
Yeah.
Like little like satellites. It's like, what the hell is that?
Oh, and you saw like that spike protein that was on it. It looks like
Yeah.
it looks like a planet with spikes coming out of it or something. It was crazy.
Speaking of pathogens, it's like all those pathogens that are in the ice that's melting
Oh, yeah.
around the world.
Yeah.
And now I remember I was talking about that with some tribal people back east some years ago. And I was like, yeah, well, when that ice starts melting, you're going to have all those prions and
Yeah.
all those other pathogens that are coming out of that ice that have been in there for thousands of years. And now it's starting to release. They don't even know what's coming out of that ice.
So back in the day, Ernest Hemingway, I think it was Ernest Hemingway. It might have been John Wayne. I don't know. They were both yachtsmen. So one of these rich old dudes,
What's a yachtsman?
somebody that has a yacht and travels around on it.
All right, I didn't know if it had some other meaning.
Will's got a yacht.
Yeah.
Will's got a yacht.
Yeah. So
You
this
never
is
know what comes out of your mouth. I don't know what the hell you're saying.
This
half
is
the time.
old school yachtsmen. We're talking like the 1930s and 40s. Back in those guys' days, they would go up to where there's glaciers and ice pick, like carve ice off of the glaciers and crush it and use it for their drinks, like their whiskey and stuff. And that is so dangerous, man.
Oh,
yeah. Because there's ancient germs in that
Yeah,
ice.
yeah.
Like, it's what you were just talking about.
You're right.
you know?
Yeah. Like, here's some cryptosporidium for
Yeah,
you.
and these rich tourists and
Take
stuff,
that.
even today, they think it's so luxurious to get some glacial ice in their drinks.
Oh,
and
like,
and
I'm
it's,
not doing that.
Isn't there a
Yeah.
water company that specifically sells some sort of
Glacial water.
glacial water?
There
right?
probably
is.
is.
Is there not? I
They-
thought that.
Glacier water.
yeah, they probably purify it first, though, but to just ride up to one and chip pieces off,
And
that's
throw it in your whiskey.
Right.
yeah. You might as well throw a turd in there too,
Yeah. It's got some cyanobacteria.
Yeah.
Those
Mm.
frozen
It's
glacial
crazy.
So circling back around, I think we're getting a little out of there.
Digressed, yeah.
But circling back to the AI data centers, I was talking to you guys about the robot dogs before the show. So they're gonna have these robot dogs.
With machine guns on the back.
Nice.
Well, I don't think they're not gonna tell us that right now. But these tech companies, they are deploying robotic quadrupeds like Boston Dynamics dog called Spot. And then there's Ghost Robotics is making one called Vision 60. This is to guard and inspect massive AI data centers. It handles 24/7 patrols, thermal anomaly detection, and site mapping, and they cost about $165,000 to $300 per unit. The primary models come out of the Boston Dynamics, the Spot one. That one runs for about $175,000 to $300,000. Their core tasks are patrolling fence lines, sniffing out gas or fluid leaks, and spotting thermal hotspots before the equipment fails.
Thermal hotspots, aka human bodies.
Right.
Bark, bark. I found something.
Yeah. So they're just selling it like, it's just there to make sure that nothing blows up. But really, it's there when the people go ape shit and start storming the AI
Yeah.
data centers.
So
They're going to have those machine guns you were
Are
talking
they
about.
Are they combat ready? Do they release that?
Yeah,
I've
they're
seen
not.
videos of this that they are combat ready. Maybe not the ones he's talking about,
Oh,
but there are
okay.
combat ready ones out there that exist right now.
Pop out M134 miniguns.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I think I would buy one of those.
People will.
I would.
People
I
will.
would guard my house.
Controlled
dog.
by AI that you have no
I
control
don't need.
over.
Well, no, I want control of it, obviously, but I'm just thinking that would be something I would use.
Yeah.
You can sick it on the other ones.
GT Gundam.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
You'd have to reverse engineer it or something. We need some of these Gen Z cyber hackers, have them do something.
Well, in the meantime,
They were the
stock
greatest
up.
hackers, man. Yeah, they definitely were.
Yeah. In the meantime, stock up on black tip and green tip ammunition, folks.
That's what you need. That's what you would need. Yeah.
Yeah.
DARPA came out with they had a dog or a horse or something. And I was looking at this 10 years ago and they were showing videos on YouTube and it was like made for carrying heavy combat equipment and you could kick it over, it get shot, it'd fall down, roll down a hill and just pop right back up on its legs so that your troops didn't have to carry all this heavy gear. And that was like what they were showing. This was 10 years ago, which I saw it. So it was probably 5 years before that. So imagine how advanced it has gotten since then, because it's always way worse than what they show us.
Was that video with it was like a droid? It was like a combat droid type deal?
Yeah, it's just like this headless horse or dog or something. I can't remember the name of it. And they also had another one. It was like called the Flea, and it would like be on the ground doing surveillance, and it would jump 5 stories and just stick to a building and start doing surveillance. I mean, this was a long time ago when I saw this.
They've already weaponized those too. Like they have killer bees, these little, they're basically tiny drones that have a 3-gram charge, a shaped charge in them. They fly up to you like any drone can, but these things are tiny. They're like the size of a bee. They fly up to you and just slam a shaped charge right through your forehead and liquefy your brain.
I saw a demonstration of that.
Yeah.
And that thing, couldn't have been bigger than your thumbnail.
Yeah.
Great.
A shape charge?
Man, if I could be a fly on
what
the
is
wall.
that? Like, just like a C4 charge? Or like what
I don't know specifically what the compound is.
I believe it was C4.
Yeah,
it was in the demonstration. That's what they said it was.
Yeah, it's basically like shooting you in the forehead with a 45 at point blank range.
But they said the cost of that to kill an individual would be less collateral damage and like 1/10 of the cost of what it makes to take a missile to blow the building up that the guy is in.
Get assassinated.
Yeah. It's
I
crazy.
think what they're leaning toward is the military is trying to get in these areas where they can, like what we're doing in Iran, we're trying to, cleanse the place of this military base of people, but we're destroying the entire country doing it.
Yeah.
They would rather kill the people they need to get rid of and leave something for the people after this is going to be over. There's nothing left of that.
Why not just send out a whole bunch of those and just call it a wrap then?
Well, actually, forget the dogs. Let's go into the AI-powered humanoid robotics now.
Step up.
This one's going to piss off our listeners. Let me get through this just real fast. So this is a Foundation Future Industries. They have created an AI-powered humanoid robot startup, and it was founded in 2004 by a CEO named Pathetic. I don't know. I got that all wrong. Okay. But featuring Eric Trump as its chief strategy advisor.
Oh,
yeah. So fancy. The company developed the
I'm
Phantom.
sure he's so qualified.
I know, so qualified. So this company developed this. They're calling it the Phantom series of bipedal robots aimed at military reconnaissance, and logistics and heavy industrial work.
Nice.
So the company leadership is by that CEO, and Eric Trump serves as the chief strategy advisor and investor. It focuses on industrial and defense deployment rather than domestic consumer service tasks. So, I mean, every time they tell you, oh, this is just for defense, this is just for that, damn well it's got a lot more capabilities than that.
Defense just means violence.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah. Violence for protection.
Yeah.
This robot is a 5.9 foot tall Phantom MK1, they call it. And then there's the next gen Phantom MK2.
5'9", huh?
Oh, they secured a $24 million U.S. defense research contract. Oh, I wonder how they did that. Your daddy is the president. That's how they did that.
Yeah, they're in the club, man.
Deployment and scrutiny. So I think they tested early units in Ukraine with plans to send them upgraded Phantom 2 units. What the hell, man? Like, what? I didn't hear about any robots in Ukraine. I heard about a lot of drones.
Once AI takes all those robots over, we're going to be in trouble, man. And they'll use robots to build other robots.
I haven't really heard anything about the Ukraine.
Oh, there's some stuff coming out that Russia is planning to invade other countries now or something. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, dude, you guys, Ukraine's been fighting back pretty damn good over there. So, I mean, they have to have like weapons depleted and, people dying everywhere. I mean, this is insane. Is this a world war that's happening? We just don't even like classify it as that right now.
I mean, hasn't it always been a world war since the 20th century? The Cold War was kind of a world war. It wasn't a hot war, but it was a war. We had a lot of little conflicts going on the whole time.
And now they're sending in robots.
No, yeah, great, man. Now we're Terminator 2, Terminator 3, or whatever
Yeah.
the hell, dude.
T-1000's
Skynet. Yeah.
coming next.
What the hell, dude? Like, do we really need that? And we can go back to Wells' thing. Like, yeah, maybe we do. You know, if it can help humanity.
Well, that's where I feel we have to have some computing power because they are going to have this technology. I think other parts of the world might be further than we are simply because they don't have the red tape to get through to get things done. They simply say, we want a nuclear power plant right there, and the emperor points, and they start building it.
Mm-hmm.
They want a data center, they start building it. They want this technology, they will test it any way they can have to on their own people if need be, but they will develop it, and we have got to be able to at least compete with them. I believe we just need to, well, like we're doing here, educate people, get people talking. What can we do to make sure we don't become a victim of the very thing that we, everybody's under the cloak of for your safety, for your defense?
Well, I feel, I always say that, like, what can we do? There's got to be something that can change. And the more I research, the more I do this show, the more I'm like, oh shit, we're done. There's nothing we can do. Like, you can write your congressman. What the hell's that going to do?
We're already at
absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
Very
we're already
little.
at that point
I
of
believe educating
locomotion.
yourself to learn how to live in the moment is probably the best thing you can do. I think these the attitude people have, like, well, I don't vote, I don't partake in any of it, so it's not going to affect me, are the people who are going to get mowed over. I believe that there will always be a niche of people that will be able to evade and live a decent life, even though they might not believe in the system, because they know how to work it, right? Like, if you touch your computer, you don't know nothing about a computer, it's going to be what are you going to do?
You're going to know your ass in a hole to ground.
Right.
You
Yeah,
get
but
frustrated and
like
smash
Bob
it in the
over-
driveway.
Like Bob over here. I hate this phone. I hate this TV. I hate this iPad.
Hate this AI car driving me in a
Exactly.
ditch.
But with the way the knowledge is exploding on all these fronts, it's a full-time job keeping up with it.
Could you
It
imagine
is.
being a boomer right now?
Oh yeah, unbelievable.
Jesus,
Yeah.
the things you've seen on, they were like black and white, reel to reel, black and white TV, even no TV.
No
I
TV.
mean, we're not too far from that. I remember all that from when we were little, man.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I mean, my dad had a reel to reel.
We weren't adults with it, though.
I
we were
mean,
kids.
but we did go from what? We went from like a record to a cassette to a CD to an MP3. Did I miss something there? Something in between?
Maybe.
No. Now it's
Right,
just
cassette
streaming.
tape, CD,
Yeah.
MP3, right?
I
that
mean,
was
we
it.
are part
was
of
the
that
jump,
generation
yeah.
that has seen all of that come to pass
Yeah.
out of the thousands of lives that have lived and lived exactly the same way from day one to day end.
You know, you're right about that. And they also, most of them didn't travel like more than maybe a day's ride on a horse ever from where their home was.
Yeah,
know,
We talking
absolutely.
boomers?
The history of humans in general.
Oh, okay.
Unless you go way back to like
Like
hunter
the silent
gatherer, those
generation.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, hunter gatherers traveled constantly. They were nomadic.
Oh, you
know.
had to. Yeah, you had
Yeah.
to.
I think that's
but-
up your alley, isn't it, John?
Well, I mean, that depends on tribal locations. Like my people back east, you would
I mean,
have.
they had civilizations that were
you'd have your summer villages and then you would have your winter villages. Your summer villages, and they would typically be like 5 miles apart from east to west. Your summer villages are going to be located more by the ocean, so that way,
Yeah.
because in the spring, summertime, you're going to be eating more of the fruits, berries, vegetables that either you're growing or growing in the wild, and then mostly seafood. And then towards like the winter months, that's when you're going to start hunting, and getting more of the deer.
Well, that's something we
elk,
should cover in a future cast because your people go back like 20 or 30,000 years. They
Yeah.
can document that. So
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys want to do another episode with us?
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we could dig into that a little more. I know I was
That'd be
rambling.
great.
I was
Yeah.
yanking out all these articles. That's how I go, man. I just keep driving the stuff around. So I mean, we got to get to the last thing before we close out this show. But we got to talk about the dude that faced jail time for putting ants as a garnish.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know you guys got a kick out of that.
Yeah,
one, so.
no, being a former chef, I think that's hilarious. that
I
he did
forgot.
that.
I forgot. This was South Korean. This is in South Korea. So
Oh,
not
well,
that bad then.
Yeah, not that
that's
bad.
not that bad. But so why?
I mean,
so-
hey, it was Saturday night.
right.
yeah. So prosecutors want a 1-year jail term for the guy, and because he was putting it as a local garnish, and
For ants? Come on.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
like 3 days.
Yeah, but I mean, like, isn't in that part of the world? I mean, Was he from
They
a
eat all kinds of
specific
crazy-
village?
Seriously.
Yeah.
You would think you'd find that on the table.
Oh, we got to continue this on the next
All
one.
right, we'll bring this in on the second one. Thanks for
Absolutely.
joining the No Thing Show. We'll see you next episode. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yes, sir.
Later.